WHS Workplace Health and Safety Meeting. The date is the 21st of April and starting time is 7 p.m. and we're convening in Canberra. And attendees present is myself, Ben Bishop, I'm a fitness professional, and there is Lucy A, our gym manager, and Bella B, another fitness professional at the gym. Apologies this evening, there are no apologies noted. Just confirming that you both received a copy of the agenda before the meeting.
Yes.
Very good. Now we've got 6 items on the agenda this evening, so I'll just quickly run through them so that you are aware of them. So we've got a workplace health and safety within the workplace, where we'll discuss the importance of workplace health and safety to the gym. We've got some hazards that have been identified, so we'll look at hazard identification and then look at risk controls relating to those hazards. Item 4, we'll look at any review of the control measures that may be available for those hazards. Item 5, look at an incident that has been reported through to the gym. And then item 6, we'll have a chat about employee health and welfare. Any questions on the items?
None yet.
None yet? Fantastic. Yeah, let's move on to agenda item 1, workplace health and safety within the workplace. So this is an open discussion about why it's important for the gym facility to manage risk and to look at any legislative requirements that the gym might have in terms of workplace health and safety. So in terms of managing risk, it's to our members and also participants, and it's important from a business perspective, but it's also a legislative requirement. So if we look at Section 19 of the Workplace Health and Safety Act, it imposes an obligation on a person carrying on a business or undertaking, such as a gym, to ensure, as far as practicable, the health and safety of workers and others, including our gym members. So managing risks seeks to prevent injury to our workers and also to our members, thereby creating a safe place for people to work and train, but also reducing the risk of expensive litigation or compensation claims in the event of preventable injuries. So maintaining a safe and clean environment also supports us to have a positive reputation as a gym. So in essence, legislative requirement, it's going to have make the gym have a positive reputation and reduce the potential litigation and claims for preventable risks.
Love it.
Any questions on that?
I don't think I have any.
Lovely. Move on to item 2. So as part of our risk management protocol, we will regularly do a review of any hazards within the gym facility and then complete a risk register based on that. So within the agenda paper for today, you've got 3 hazards that have been identified since the last meeting and the associated risk rating for those. So hazard 1, following our review, is the floor in the steam room has been identified as quite slippery. So you walk in there and you've got 2 tiers, as you know, on the steam room.
Yeah.
And if you step off of that, the actual floor itself is quite slippery, so someone may slip over, hit their head on the step, or go the other way and potentially fall through the glass. So we've looked at that and given it a risk rating of 12H, which is quite a high risk rating. Hazard number 2, the temperature in the group fitness room is locked now to 22 degrees Celsius on the air conditioner, and that's actually above the recommended 16 to 20 degrees for group fitness rooms. There was apparently a reason that the staff decided to lock it at 22 degrees. There is something to do with the condensation in the air conditioning unit causing an issue with the ceiling panels to actually drop on members. So there's a couple of different issues there. But in terms of the actual temperature in the room, that one's been given a risk rating of 6M, so it's a medium risk.
Okay.
And I guess some of the hazards or the risks there are members overheating during group exercise in the fitness room. And then hazard 3, out on the gym floor, there was noted to be some battle ropes lying on the floor, which causes a bit of a trip hazard. And that's been given a risk rating of 9S, so a smaller risk rating.
I have a question on that second point. When I'm running my boxing class, I've noticed some of my participants get a little bit overheated with the current temperature. Is it feasible for me to supply them with water? Do we have bottled waters? Is that one way we can manage the risk?
Having maybe not bottled water, but having a readily access to water is certainly one way of making sure that people stay hydrated and cool.
Water fountain or something.
Having a water fountain or something like that.
Yep.
But then also looking at other ways such as fans and that. But probably also reducing the temperature on the air conditioning unit, and if there is a mechanical reason why it's been set to 22, then having that investigated by the relevant professions. Yep. Right, we'll move on to agenda item number 3. So in relation to those 3 hazards that were identified, there's a couple of different risk controls that we can put in place. So like we're talking about the bottled water and the fans and things like that. So in terms of hazard 1, so that's the slippery steam room floor. We can paint that floor with an anti-slip coating and recommended to do that every 6 months just to maintain that coating so that it remains anti-slip. And given that it is a high risk rating, recommending that's to be done by the 30th of April, so by the end of next week. In terms of hazard 2, so I think the first line of defence there is reducing the temperature on the air conditioning unit to between 16 and 20 degrees. Like I said, if there is a mechanical reason why that is set to 22 degrees, then having the technicians come in, but also considering installing a standalone system if the unit is connected to the rest of the gym and it's impacting the climate in the rest of the gym. So I think there's a bit of work to do there. There's 2 different due dates on this one. So the first one, reducing the temperature in the room, have that done by the end of next week as well, so the 30th of April. And then considering the installation of a standalone unit or review by the technicians done by the 30th of June. Gives us a bit more time to work out a bit more of a long-term solution there. And then hazard 3, installing, so this is with the ropes on the ground. So installing signage to remind gym members to place the ropes back on the holder to prevent harm to other members. And we should be able to get access to signage quite quickly. So 30th of April as well for a due date on that one. Any questions on those measures?
No, I'm happy with the controls that we're discussing.
Very good. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, and this is around reviewing those control measures. So with each of the control measures that we just discussed, they'll be reviewed on a regular basis and at least once every 6 months. But I would also say that they need to be reviewed come their due date as well, to make sure that they've been implemented, and then thereafter on a regular basis. To review the control measures, it'll be a physical inspection of the sites to be undertaken to ensure the control measures remain effective. It'll also include a desktop review of any incidents that have occurred, so we'll undertake that as well. It's recommended that the control measures be reviewed at the time of an incident as part of any incident management as well. And I know we've got a fairly robust incident management process here. And we've got the ability to seek feedback from members as well. So I think particularly on the slippery floor and the group fitness room, I think member feedback is going to be quite important on those. So any feedback forms or that get submitted, we'll review them as well. And then if at the 6 month mark everything is fine, we'll bring that back to this meeting and review them. If there is anything that needs to be brought back to this meeting ahead of schedule, then we'll do that as well. Any questions on item 4?
No.
Happy with what's being put in place.
Lovely. Let's move on to item number 5. So this is about incident reporting. So this is to bring to your attention that there was a medical emergency that occurred within the gym. So on the 1st of October at 6 AM, I was instructing a client on the gym floor. Heard a commotion coming from the weights room, and a gym member came running out of the room advising that she'd just seen another member faint and hit their head on the floor. So I stopped my instruction of the client, and I attended on the member and assessed the situation. I provided immediate first aid to the gym member. They were conscious and everything seemed to be okay. Required some minor first aid for a minor laceration to the left, front left of his forehead, that was otherwise well. There was no need for an ambulance to be called for the event, but I did contact the on-duty manager to advise them of the situation. And then I also submitted my incident report via email on the 11th of March. There are no actions arising from that report. It's just a thing to monitor. But from what I've heard, the gym member is doing very well.
That's good. And still coming back to the gym.
And still coming back to the gym. Yeah. Any questions on that?
No, I'm glad they're okay.
Absolutely. Yep. And moving on to the last item on the agenda, item number 6, employee health and welfare. So within the workplace health and safety sphere, there's a stress and fatigue monitoring form that can be completed particularly by health sports professionals or fitness professionals. And it's looking at stress and fatigue management. So stress and fatigue management is an important factor within employee health and wellbeing, and stress and fatigue monitoring form can be used to monitor stress and fatigue symptoms and to work on ways to manage the stress and fatigue. So of the, I did this on myself. So of the 5 risks of fatigue, I only answered yes to one, which was being undertaking work for extended periods that is mentally exhausting. So this still indicates that I am at risk of fatigue. So in the self-monitoring component of the form, there were 2 symptoms of fatigue that were noted. One was feeling drowsy, and the second one was an inability to concentrate. So to combat the risk of fatigue and to improve the symptomology of fatigue already noted, I recommend changing my work schedule to a 9-day fortnight and compressed hours across 9 days, which would allow me to have every second Friday off for a long weekend.
Okay.
Provide a longer period of rest every fortnight to reduce that fatigue.
Interesting.
I'm all for it. Can I have a 9-day fortnight as well?
You can submit the fatigue
Do
form.
the fatigue form first.
I don't think
Obviously, we'll take that very seriously, and yeah, we can look at it then.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Very good. I will submit my request. Any questions on fatigue management?
No, I'm glad you're looking after yourself.
Absolutely, and I'm glad I'm in a supportive workplace that allows me to. Right, is there any other questions or comments?
It all seems pretty clear to me. I think you've done a very good job
Very good.
reporting on all of these.
Lovely. Well, unless there's any other business, I'll finish the meeting there. So it is 7:22. The date of our next meeting is the 28th of May. In terms of follow-up items, I'll circulate a copy of the incident report from the medical emergency to the both of you. We'll diarise to follow up the risk controls from the hazards that we spoke about, and also to make sure that those hazard controls are put in place. And I'll also send you a written request to change to a 9-day fortnight.
Okay. Look forward to seeing it.
Alright, we're done here
Good.
then.
Well, thank you both, and I'll call the meeting to a close, and I'll see you